I am Siddhartha Shankar, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Government Horgonga College, Munshiganj. Today, I am addressing to the students of Honours Part 1 under National University. My today's discussion is from your course Introduction to Poetry. Today, I am discussing on Two Daffodils by Robert Herrick. You are welcome to the session. Let's discuss on the poet. The poet Robert Herrick was born in 1591 and he died in 1674. He was born in Cheapside, London. That means he was an English poet. He was seventh child and fourth son of Julia Stone and Nicholas Herrick. His father's name was Nicholas Herrick. He was a goldsmith by profession. Unfortunately, he lost his father at an early age. In fact, the poet was only 1 year old when he lost his father. It is told that his father committed suicide. Robert Herrick was matriculated from St. John's College, Cambridge. That means he was educated in St. John's College, Cambridge. An interesting matter is that he was a bachelor throughout his life. He never married. Another important thing about him is that he was a hedonist by temperament. What is hedonist? Hedonist is basically pleasure seeker. The persons who believe that the life is enjoyable and the life should be enjoyed to the least. It should be enjoyed here. They don't believe in afterlife. He is best known for his book of poems, Hesperides. This is a collection of poems where most of his composition or poetries were published. So this is some short idea about our present poet Robert Herrick. So before going to the poem, we must know some literary terms that will be helpful for us for better understanding of the poem. Carpe diem theme. What is carpe diem theme? The word carpe diem is a Latin word. This basically means pluck the day or seize the day. This phrase is used by Roman poet Horace. Roman poet Horace used this term first to express the idea that one should enjoy life while one can. That means enjoy the life. নগদ যা পাও হাত পেতে নাও বাকির খাতায় শূন্য থাক. What you get in present, you take that, because they don't believe in afterlives. That means the believers of carpe diem theme are basically hedonist. The another important thing that has been used in this poem is simile. I think the students, know what a simile is. A simile is a figure of speech that makes a comparison showing similarities between two different things. So a simile is making comparison between two different things. For example, a brave man can be compared with a tiger. He is as brave as a tiger. Or Julia is like a rose. That means the beauty of rose has been compared with the beauty of Julia. So there is a simile between Julia and the rose. So to make a simile, we make these words like as, so, such, like, etc. These words are used to make a simile. Another important thing is a metaphor. What is a metaphor? A metaphor is also a figure of speech that is used to make a comparison between two things. Here also we will get comparison between two things that are not alike, between two different things. but do have something in common. For example, Julia is a rose. Here we will not say that Julia is like a rose, rather an explicit comparison, Julia is a rose. That means there is the quality of rose is there in Julia. So a metaphor is just an explicit comparison between two different things. Another important literary term that has been used in this poem is alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is a term to describe a literary device in which a series of words begin with the same consonant sound. A series of words begin with same consonant sound. A classic example is she sails by the seashore. Another favorite is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. So here in the first sentence you see the pronunciation of S sound has been used frequently. So this is an alliteration. And in the second sentence you see the second quotation, the pronunciation of P has been used several times, or in each word we get the P sound. So this is an example of alliteration. And personification. What is personification? Personification gives human qualities to animals or inanimate object in writing. When we make any animal or non-living things a living being or human being is called personification, and the poets often use this device to make his sense clear. So this is just a warm-up session for better understanding of the poem. Now let's recite the poem. Fair daffodils, we weep to see you haste away so soon, as yet the early rising sun hasn't attained his noon. So you see, fair daffodils, here the quality has been attributed to the beautiful daffodils, that is fair daffodils. The beauty is the beauty of daffodils. The daffodils are so much beautiful. We weep, here you see the use of alliteration, the use of consonant sound twice, we weep. And you see, you haste away so soon, here also so soon is the use of alliteration. So what is there in this line? Here the poet has described the beauty of daffodils, but at the same time he is weeping. We weep, that means the poet, or the we means the human being. We weeping. Why we are weeping? Because this beautiful flower does not live long. They haste away so soon, they die so soon. As yet the early rising sun hasn't attained his noon. So it doesn't stay long. It blooms in the morning and it dies before noon. So it hastes away, it dies soon. Now the poet is requesting to the daffodil, stay. The words has been repeated. This is another device, another literary device, that repetition. Stay, that means the poet is giving emphasis that the flower should stay. How long it should stay? Until the hasting day has run, until the day breaks, or until the evening. He is requesting the daffodil to stay. But to the evensong, and having prayed together, we will go with you alone. So here you see, but to the until the day breaks, until the hasting day has run. So the poet is requesting the flower to stay until the day breaks, and at the same time, at the end of the day or in the evening time, that religious song is performed in the church. So the poet is requesting the flower that we together will take part in evening prayer, and then we will leave the world together, and having prayed together. and will go with you along. That means that human life is also short, so you are going alone, so please don't go alone. You better stay for some times, and we will go together, we will die together. So what is the description? What do we get from here? Here the spring daffodils. Spring daffodils means the daffodils generally bloom in the spring, so possibly growing in his churchyard are starting to die off. You know that evensong is there, or there is a mention of evensong, that means the evening prayer. So possibly the daffodils, this spring daffodils is growing in his churchyard, and they die off before noon, that means in a very short time. Here the poet wishes that they would at least stay unshriveled for the hours of daylight. That means he is requesting the flowers to stay until the daylight fades away. So the poet begins to beg the daffodils not to go, as their end hasn't approached. He is requesting the flower to stay. The poet associates them with evensong and prayer. So there is a religious tone here, religious connotation. So the poet is asking the flower to stay until the evening prayer starts, expressing the hope that the congregation will be able to see the flowers until still it bloom as they leave church. Congregation means a group of people who gather together for a prayer. They will also able to see the flowers if they stay until evening. So this is a short description of the first stanza of the poem. So let's read the second stanza of the poem. We have short time to stay as you. We have as short a spring, as quick a growth to meet decay as you or anything. We die as your hours do and dry away like the summer's rain, or as the pearls of morning's dew never be found again. We means with a human being, we have also short time in our hand. We will not stay long in this world. We have to die. So we have short time to stay as you. So here you is a device of personification. You we use for persons. Here you has been used for the flower daffodils. We have as short a spring. Spring is the shortest, is a very pleasant season. It is called the king of all seasons, but it stays very short. You know, there is a repetition of spring in every year. The 6 seasons in our country comes in rotation, and spring is a short-lived one. And during this season, we enjoy the beauty of nature, the full-bloomed flowers. The nature also takes a beautiful look. So this enjoyable time is very short, and similarly our life is enjoyable, but our life is also very short. So we grow and we meet decay. With the people as you the flower, you stay for a short time on the earth, you grow, you give your pleasure, you give fragrance to the people, you give pleasure to the people with your beauty, but you die soon. Similarly, with a human being, we have also very short time on earth. We born. When we are born in the infancy, we have very little time. In the infancy, We pass several stages in our life. We have infancy, we have childhood, we have adolescence, we have teenage, then we become adult and middle age, and finally we die. So as you, we also die, as your hours do, and dry away like the summer's rain. You see, summer's rain, this is another example of short-lived thing. Summer's rain, when the first rain of summer, first drop of summer rain fall on the dry earth, it evaporates soon. So it stays very short time on earth. So like the summer rain, we also stay for a short time on this earth. We don't live long. So human being has not enough time on earth, rather they die away. So therefore human life has been compared with that of daffodils, and here a lot of similes has been used. Here the life has been compared with you see summer's rain. It has been compared with the spring, short-lived spring. Or as the pearls of morning dew, you see morning dew is also like summer's rain. When the heat of the sun increases, the morning dew evaporates. So morning dew is also very beautiful thing to enjoy, but it stays for a short time, and this thing vanishes from the earth and never to be found again. And these sounds no more, these are not found again, this goes forever. So here we find that human life has been compared with some short-lived things. Those are very beautiful and very enjoyable thing, but stays for a very short time on earth. So therefore there is a tone of melancholy here in this poem, and the important thing to mark is that the last line, you see, never to be found again. Here the poet doesn't believe in afterlife, rather he believes in that carpe diem theme, that the present life should be enjoyed. We should enjoy the present life, we should make the correct use of the present life, because there is no possibility of heaven or getting pleasure in heaven. So we should enjoy the present life. This is carpe diem theme has been used in this poem. So something that we get in the second stanza of the poem. Here humankind is linked to the daffodil in the shortness of its lifespan. So human life is as short as daffodil. So life has been compared with that of plant life as far as its temporary nature is concerned. Plant life of daffodil, this is temporary, and human life is also temporary. Life is like the summer's rain or the morning's dew, which is very valuable or very enjoyable, but it doesn't stay for a long time. So the things that are enjoyable or beautiful, that doesn't stay for a long time. Human life is also beautiful, but we have very short period to stay in this world. The poet compares the human life with such flowers which only come out in spring to show the frailty of life. That means spring is the best season, and human life is the best time, is the among the all creatures, human life is the best. So but this life will not stay for long, and this is perishable, it will be vanished, it will be destroyed. So this is frailty of life. So here you see here you see, as quick a growth to meet decay as you or anything. This line to be discussed, that mentioned worthy of discussion, as you or anything. So here the poet has compared the flower, the human life, with the daffodil, and at the same time with any other thing. That means nothing is permanent in this world, everything is perishable and everything will die. So as you or anything, that means the life here is transient, everything on this world is transient. So we should use the present life to the best. So from here, what do we get? Here, as mentioned above, this is a carpe diem poem. That means the seize the day, that points to the inevitability of decay and death. That means we will die, but with no hint of any obligation to earn a place in the afterlife by living a goodly existence now. So here the poem is giving importance of the earthly life, and he doesn't a believer of afterlife. In this poem, the poet has a sad tone, as it shows a very ambiguous and dreadful image, which is death. So here actually we get an image of death, and it also emphasizes the shortness of life. So drawing the image of death, the poet gives importance on the shortness of life. So the theme, what is the theme of the poem? The theme describes the course of nature, which all beings must follow: birth, maturity, and then death. So everything of this world has these things, that it has a beginning, then it gets maturity, and finally it dies. That means these three stages have to be followed by everything, that is birth, maturity, and death, and this is the theme of this poem. And Herrick points a sad picture using a suitable combination of repetition, alliteration, and assonance. As I have said, that here these poetical devices has been used, that repetition, alliteration, and assonance. And most of the imagery in the poem is created by many similes, metaphors, and personification. So the imagery of death has been created by these poetical devices, that is similes, metaphors, and personification. So hopefully you have understood this poem, and if you have any question, you can ask me in the comment box. Thank you.